So morning everybody, welcome to your June update. So I did a little bit of a poll on the Facebook group for those of you that didn't see it last week, just to ask you what you wanted to have as a reading. So I tend to do my readings, as you know, not necessarily on the dot like in a if I could call it an old school calendar. I tend to just do the messages or bring through the messages when I feel guided and when spirit wants to work with me. So as I mentioned, I was waiting for these 2 packs of new cards to come through. So I felt that, not that I don't love all the cards that I've got, but I actually really felt that I wanted an influx of more divine feminine energy. So I have the Divine Feminine Oracle by Meggan Watterson. Sorry if I've not pronounced her name correctly. And the Ching of Love, which is an unusual deck by Swami Anand Videha. I hope that's okay. So I'm just going to go and get my connection spray and just going to spray this, my Archangel Gabriel energy, to bring in guidance, communication and information that's going to support you and your loved ones starting from today, which is the 7th of June. Also, I would say that a lot of my messages are timeless. A lot of people will say, write to me and say, Angela, this is am I late? Am I this? And no, the message will come to you as and when, because in the spirit world or the spiritual realms, they don't have what we call linear time down here on earth. Right, a little bit of a sip of coffee. I've been out for a walk at the crack of dawn this morning because I was up with the birds, but it's really good to clear the energy by the sea air on the beach. So I've actually already picked the cards from the I Ching Love deck, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the cards for the Divine Feminine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with your sun, your moon or your rising. So say if you have a sun in Sagittarius but your moon is in Capricorn and your rising sign is in Gemini, there will be a different mix of energies there. And if you tie the messages together, that seems to work for a lot of you. And also it's very indicative of a bit more of a balanced read. Also, I always say this, leave what doesn't resonate and take what does. And you might even get your own messages from the cards and from the pictures. So what I'll try to do is show you the picture and bring through the energies. So I'm going to start with Aries. I've already pulled the cards here, so I'm just going to pop that down there. I'm going to ask Spirit now to come through and to bring through the energies. You're not having all of those. It's one card Aries, and this is from the 7th of June onwards, or whenever Aries listens to this message. So for Aries, a lot of things going on with Aries, but I'm going to ask Spirit to clear the deck. One card please, because we don't have all day for one sign. It's taking its time. Right, so I must need to shuffle this chunk. Right, there we go. Finally, being a bit stubborn there, Aries. Okay, so you have Parvati, the goddess of devotion. I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. So this for me is a card of staying the course, Aries, not giving up. And I would actually say with Aries energy, wherever your placements are, I mean, you could have lots of Aries placements and not be in your sun, moon and rising. So if you feel guided to listen to the sign message, absolutely do. This card is about standing still in what could be deemed as a lot of chaos around, and this is externally in the world, and it's not about aligning your energy to that. It's about transmutating and transcending it, Aries. So what I really feel is your message is you've got the energy and you've got the power to do this. And I feel that the Aries energy is learning to stand still I'm not saying that you would run for the hills, but not trying to run that energy out of your system instead. So like some people, they might need to exercise to deal with their stress, which is absolutely fine. This is kind of like an example that I'm seeing. It's like Aries learning to sit still, meditate, and see the energy run through them and be lifted off them with the light, instead of having to force it out. That's what I'm getting with your energy, Aries. Now, in the Ching of Love cards, so these are unusual cards. So I really want you to kind of tune into these cards, because they're not traditional like tarot. They've got specific messages, and I will read out the message. So this is complementaries, solidarity. So this is like the yin and the yang. So you can see there's water, there's all the elements in this card. So it's about balance, and it's about the missing part of the balance has been uniting all of these things together. So instead of just heightening your energy and being in that Aries, it's actually about bringing it down and softening and grounding it and bringing the divine masculine and the feminine together. So I'm actually going to read you the message on this card, complementaries, solidarity. So that is a card of number 8. So number 8 is really about abundance as well. So the Tao, to manifest itself, splits. It is the continuous alternation of rest and movement that creates life, a game of causes and effects, behind which there is something perpetually motionless. Wisdom is coming to perceive this point of absolute stillness present in us, the eye of the cyclone. Wow, isn't that, and that was the energy. I hadn't even really tuned into this card, but I got it from the Parvati. So it's like saying that you are not giving up just because you're not doing your old way. There's a big message this month and right now about not doing your old way. And we're always recycling and cycling up. But this is really about seeing a lot of changes on the ground. Like, I can't even put it into words, and I don't really want to open this message because I'm going to do another video on the general energies. So there we go, Aries. That was your message. So now I'm going to move on to Taurus. I'm going to move these cards away. What's the message for Taurus? The message for Taurus. That was quite strong there. Khadija, the mother of believers. I'm spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. So I would say that for Taurians, there's a lot of abundance around them right now, and there's a lot of around your mind. There's a lot of downloads of information. So you may have been asking or praying for answers. Maybe your job hasn't been right. Maybe you've been there's been a lot of bills, and where's the money going to come from? And I feel like there has been a download of energy into your mind. So there's been a clearing going on in your mind. And there's also a lot of power in the Taurians' mental sphere at the moment. So the Gemini energy and this solar eclipse that's coming up. So we just had a full moon eclipse, and now we're going into a new moon eclipse in Gemini, and both in mutable signs. It's bringing in a lot of clarity for Taurians about how this new cycle of abundance is going to occur for them. So that's Khadija. So Middle Eastern influence there. Right, so where am I at now with these? Okay, yeah, I've turned these upside down, yeah, because that's Pisces at the end. So in the I Ching 5, 6, 7, 8, it's a 53 card. It is also, again, boils down to the number 8. This is the card of intimacy, and there's a butterfly here, so something is changing here. It's literally like Taurians have had a mountain to climb, but this is, for me, this is a card of freshness. It's new life, it's strength, which, you know, Taurians are known for. So and also grounding the ideas. So 53, this is I'm reading it in French, sorry. This book has got lots of different translations, which I think is really nice. The author's really thought about this. The dimension in which the oracle speaks is not the sphere of security, possession and jealousy. Intimacy, which is the invisible mountain of love, has its roots in something that cannot be grasped by any of the five senses. It is nothing but emptiness and silence. So I want to say to Taurus that I feel like you've got to a place in your life where you're actually, if you want to be with somebody, or if you're in a relationship, I feel like there's an independence that you've reached where if you're not going to be, you'll only be in a relationship if it's the right relationship. So you're going to enhance somebody's life like they're going to enhance you. There's a lot of, I feel like, equality coming from this card for me. You're not worried if you're with somebody or not. You've reached a pinnacle point in your life where there's just so much strength, but the mountain is about this. And but I feel like whatever is coming, because there's a lot of changes as well in relationships for people at the moment. I mean, there always is, but right now, there is a big shift in relationship for a certain section of people that are ready, that feel like they've been waiting forever. And I feel like with Taurus energy, it's like, well, I'm actually quite happy on my own. So we need to open up to intimacy now, and the possibility that we might actually let somebody in now. So that's the message for Taurus. So now we're going to move on to Gemini, right? Gemini. So you've got a solar eclipse, a new moon in your sign. This is pretty mega. Gemini. What's the message for Gemini, please, Spirit? Oh, so you also got Parvati. This is why I'm using these cards over and over again. Spirit said to me some of the messages might be repeated, and I won't want to give any of the signs a disservice or any of the energies. So again, this is the goddess of devotion. So this is about, I feel with Gemini though, this is about sticking to the plans that you've made and not, Gemini can be very interchangeable, and I mean this with the greatest respect, but one day it's this and one day it's that. And what Spirit is saying is they want you to stick to your plans, however uncomfortable it is, and make a commitment to yourself, because the things that you've been asking for, manifesting, they require you to be devoted to the plan. And it's interesting because you got trust and the elephant. So I feel like it is time to charge ahead. And it's 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is about spiritual learnings. It's about, I feel like Geminis are natural teachers, but they don't realise it. They really don't realise it. So this card, it says the hexagon indicates the power of strength, firmness. The oracle is therefore saying that you have the opportunity to achieve true greatness. You only have to evolve according to the nature of things. So they're saying, be true to yourself, devote to you now, not to what society expects you to be or people expect you to be. Be true to yourself. Like an elephant knows it's an elephant. It doesn't want to be like a lion. It doesn't want to be. It really is one of the most powerful animals in the jungle, because it can reach the trees, it can collect coconuts, and actually can you see in its trunk it's got a heart here? And I feel it's saying stay the course, even though the ride is bumpy. The ride can be bumpy because Spirit is saying, do you really, really want this? And, it's not about things coming to you like this again. There's a time in manifestation, yes, things will come quickly, but there's also times where the universe is actually building your muscle to stay the course. I feel like these are the internal muscles Gemini is being asked to learn at the moment. Now, obviously, if you're in a very toxic situation, this is not relatable in this dynamic. This is not what Spirit's talking about. You would leave that. But what they're saying is there's a long held dream here, and you've got to trust, because the elephant right now is quite playful. He's quite playful and has its heart there, and it's just saying go for it, Gemini. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking and your mind overcomplicates things, and you've got to stop it. Okay, that's you being told there by me kindly. Right. This is just saying it winds you up, but it also winds other people around you. And then you're thinking, well, why is nobody listening? It's because nobody can listen to somebody go in and out of their mind all the time and their thoughts. It can be quite draining to be around. Sorry, Gemini, but that's the message, right? So Gemini, we're now into Cancer. So what's the message for Cancer, please? What's the message for Cancer? Oh, you're not having all of those. So let's see. Message for Cancer, please. A few things going on with Cancer. Our Lady of Guadalupe. Oh, God, what a gorgeous card. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. So this can mean lots of different things. It might mean about protecting your heart right now from people around you that are not necessarily in tune with you. There might be a situation going on around you where protection needs to be called for. But also, I feel like this card is reminding you, Cancer, that we're all protected. You know, this paranoia sometimes that in spiritual circles you have to put your protection in. I once had a teacher like that, and it was just all fear-based. And what they're saying is that you're always protected. So you've got the card of contemplation. So this is about shining your light onto certain aspects in your life. So this is a lighthouse and it's night time. So it's very much in tune with Cancer's energy. The moon is the night. The sun is the day. The moon is the feminine. The sun is the masculine. So I feel like your feminine side, whether you're a man or a woman, we all have one. It's shining some light on some emotional aspect for you that's coming up. So this is contemplation within this doctrine. This hexagon as a whole represents the worldview of the wise man. Koan is objectless attention, not limited by the ego. In practice, it is meditation, the other side of love. Learn to include it in your game of life. So I feel like with you, Cancer, there's something that you're getting to the heart of, to the bottom of something. And I'm just hearing that with legal, if somebody's dealing with legal at the moment, there's something that you're going to get to the bottom of the heart. So there's something that's really going to stand out for you, that's going to clear a lot of things away. So it could mean that there's been situations around you where there's been maybe animosity, and if this doesn't relate to you, then that's fine. But I'm just getting this for a few people, that there's some situations around you where there might be some anger, or Spirit is saying express it. It's perfectly healthy to have anger. There's times in our lives where people will do us wrong, but we also come down here to some of these situations are instigated, are set up before we come down here with the players of life. Do you remember, this is talking about the game of life here. So what Spirit is saying is this is part of your course to grow in strength, to put down roots in love. So any situations that you are transforming or changing, what this is about is giving you the opportunity to build something new with love on a really steady platform, that's fruitful, that's passionate as well, because it's built from the heart. So I feel like with Cancer, there's a lot of transformation. You're protected. It's time to let go now, Cancer. It's time to let go, of emotions, and to not worry that any emotions around you or situations that bring through those emotions are going to open up a floodgate. They're not. What Spirit is saying is it's actually going to bring in a lot of clarity for you and a lot of release. And also they're saying it's going to bring through, it's going to clear the decks for something really wonderful, magnificent actually. So there you go. Right, that was for Cancer. Thank you, Spirit. So now we're going to move on to Leo. The message for Leo, please. So I've got to do it this way because it's the way that the cards are. For Leo, please. What's the card for Leo? Such beautiful cards, these. Thank you. Wow. So you got Marguerite Perret. the mystic of divine love. Love is divine, and I am nothing except love. So I feel like Leos are getting a love awakening here. I feel like love is shining down on Leo at the moment. I feel like Leo is coming into a place of really not being afraid to be themselves and express who they are and be playful and be loving. I'm not going to pick up the same card again. Right. So interesting. So Leo got the card of conflict. So this is a number 6 card. Now, 6 actually is the number for soulmates. So it could be like, am I going to walk through this door and, you know, in the past, I've gone through the door and I've really put my heart out there and I've had it on my sleeve and it didn't turn out to be what I thought it would be. Or if I speak up to my partner and I say how I'm feeling about something, it might not be received in the right way. I'm feeling like this is more of an inner conflict. So this card says, we often embellish love with dreams and fantasies with presumptions and beliefs, preventing it from existing or conditioning it to the point of deforming it. Is this your case? Observe how you manipulated your love. So I feel like this card is more about maybe in the past you felt manipulated by people, places and things. So situations occurred where you went in all shiny and glistening and just really like, you know, Leo is the inner child. It's the heart there just shining through and just it being not really accepted or it being misinterpreted by other people around you. And what this card is like the game of life. Like if you look through all the doorways that you walk through and everyone's a different colour, almost like colours of the rainbow. But I want to say to you, Leo, that as you walk through these doors, the colours change. So from more earthy, physical learnings to green, heart healing, up to blue, which is, you know, that really is about communication and learning to be able to communicate not only your fears, but also your worries and your cares. It's really important that the Leo energy I'm hearing can express itself because the heart wants to be clear. The heart wants to be clear and it wants to be heard and it wants to be accepted. So I just feel like for Leo, there's a massive heart awakening at the moment and it's really powerful. The Spirit is just saying, just walk through that door. Walk through that door. I want to say like the bad apples are gone now. Nothing can stick to a Leo for long. Because you'll always find yourself back to your heart, Leo. You'll never ever lose your playfulness. When you do, certain situations in your life almost orchestrate you back to yourself. Right, brilliant. So now we're on to Virgo. So the Virgo card in these didn't want to come out. So there's something about not wanting to step forward, Virgo. So the card for Virgo, please, Spirit. Right, so what cards do I want? One card for Virgo, please, Spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right, so you are going to have 2, Virgo, because you're being a bit... They've got to come out together. Right, so you got Mary Magdalene, which is the divine feminine healing. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I'm fully human and fully divine. And Queen Esther, the morning star. My ego is in service of my soul and I trust my soul's divine timing. I want to say to Virgos, a lot of the time Virgos really put down what they've got to offer. They don't really... I feel like Virgos and energy is very much... It's not understood out there. Virgo loves being of service, and actually whatever Virgo does is always in service. So what you don't see with Virgo is they put their heart and soul and their mind into all of it. And I feel like what Spirit is saying here is that whatever you are doing, Virgo, we want to remind you it's in service. It doesn't have to look spiritual to be spiritual. But the card around this youthful inexperience is your inner child is really calling you. So the number 4 is the card of the angels, youthful experience. You know, it's about getting outside and stepping away from the computer is what I want to say. So the oracle is telling you that you are facing an abyss. Okay? But don't worry, by necessity, the carefreeness and that characterizes this card leads you to flow, thus overcoming any obstacle that prevents you from progressing. So actually the answer for you this month or right now, Virgo, is to play, is to get outside in the sunshine, in the fresh air, and to feel the air, the wind in your face and in your hair. And if you don't have hair, let it go over your head and clear away those ear chakras, all that mind chatter. It's how Virgo gets to really rest and relax. Is the best thing for a Virgo is to go on a big long walk, either on a hill or on a windy beach, and just let all the air blast out through those chakras. Right, guys, so that's Virgo. Now we're going to move on to Libra. Moving on to Libra. What's the message for Libra, please, Spirit? Ooh. No, you've got 2 cards as well. Wow. So Libra got exactly the same message as Virgo. So let me just tune in and see, is there anything different here? So I feel with Libra there's heart healing. I'm feeling a little bit of lost energy around Libra, like trying to get my footing this month. What does it look like? And what Libra's footing this month is actually in service, is to get back into service. I feel like I want to be grounded a little bit more in my heart this month, and I want to strengthen my spiritual connection with spirit. So whereas like with Virgo it was going outside, you've got the fear of love, which is 6, 7, 8, 26 card. So this card, let me have a look what it is. That's interesting, the page wouldn't open. So this is, the oracle indicates that you are enjoying considerable strength, so it is right time to progress. Draw from the current state of power, the courage to dare a total abandonment. Don't retreat. Many do not dare in love, contenting themselves with lukewarm compromises out of fear. So I feel like what Spirit are showing you is, it is a bit like going into the abyss, but you've got everything that you need. I feel like with Libra, it's about preparing their heart for greater, deeper love, whether that is to what you do in your work or whether that's to prepare for a relationship. You've got these energies here that are working with you. So I feel like morning meditation, connecting in, strengthening that golden ray of light all the way through your body, your heart connection, and really grounding it into something practical on the earth, whether that is a relationship. I feel like Libra is definitely birthing something new. But when I first picked the cards, I felt like there was an energy of feeling a bit lost, but you're not lost, Libra. It's just about grounding your energy. Sometimes the air can go a bit into your head, and what Spirit are directing you is to actually just go back into your spiritual practice, because it's really powerful. With you, light works really powerfully. And remember, Libra is ruled by Venus, like Taurus. It's your ruling planet. So there's something being birthed here out of your heart. And I don't know what that is, whether it's a child or a business or a relationship, but it's really quite strong. But they're saying that there is no fear. Fear will always be present in all that we do, but with Libra, it's very much, it's like, I want to say, like you're ready. So if you're getting imposter syndrome, you're getting a bit of fears come up, don't invest in it, is what they're saying. Don't invest in it. Right, brilliant. Oops. Right, let's move these cards away. So for Scorpio now, what's the message for Scorpio, please? Thank you. Message for Scorpio. Right. So, a couple of cards here as well. So you've got the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. So I want to say that Scorpio has had a pretty rough ride. I mean, I know a lot of people have, but the Scorpionic energy in particular has had to face, because it sees beyond the veil, you see, so it sees beyond the BS of what people are saying coming out of their mouths. But what Scorpio is learning to do is to not bring it into their own lives, is to utilise it to help transmutate. So Scorpio comes in with very, very strong energy from birth. And part of Scorpio's path is to say, right, I'm going to bring everything in the shadow into the light. So they're very much like, almost like a transformer. If you think about a transformer battery, it changes currents. And Scorpio does the same with energy. It almost changes the vibration of energy when you're around a Scorpio. But what they're saying now is that the days of you doing that to the detriment of yourself, Scorpio, if you have, are changing. Because around this, interesting, you've got this card, which is 38, which is an 11 card, a mastership number, no in love. Now, it's funny, you've got the lotus flower and the cactus. So this is going to be an interesting message for you, actually, Scorpio. So what's this now? 38. So we've got, this is about unrequited love. The oracle speaks of immense diversity, disunity and separation. The two worlds at stake each express themselves by themselves and do not meet. They do not harmonise. So I want to say to Scorpio that this is ending for you. So this is like, having to put on a front and having this well of water. The lotus flower grows in mud. It grows literally in the crap. And so I feel like there's a movement into the lotus flower now blooming and moving out of this, what I want to call is isolation, of not being understood. It's like the desert, the dryness, the isolation, and moving into a much more fertile period. Right, okay, brilliant. So now we're going to move into Sagittarius. I've got 2 or 3 more signs. Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius also got the Black Madonna. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. So I feel like for Sagittarius, it's time to teach what you've learned. And you've got looking at one another. So I love this card because it's got almost like an Aladdin energy to it. I don't know why I get this like journeys and storytelling is what I really get with Sagittarius. So this is the oracle that speaks as something that unfolds looking at one another. The meaning is simple: acceptance of the state of things. In this harmonization, which is not condescension nor requires compromise, one enters into the natural rhythm of the world. So I want to say, again, like Gemini, Sagittarius is a teacher, but whereas Gemini is the teacher, Sagittarius is the spiritual teacher. Sorry guys, I've just got to move to stretch my legs. So sorry. So I want to say with Sagittarius here that it's now time, and if you relate to this energy in any way, it's now time for you to teach what you know. And if you know you're doing that already, it's now time to the message has to come out. And I don't know why I want to say to you that night time for you, maybe keep a journal next to the bed and write down your dreams or your downloads that you're getting in sleep time. But they're saying your sleep is really important at the moment because there's a lot of, not processing, but there's a lot of reprogramming going on. So there's a lot of downloads of information coming through for you about what you're next going to do. So if you're already out there teaching, Sagittarius, brilliant. But if you're, what I want to say with that as well is there's going to be an upgrade. So it might mean bigger groups of people that you're going to be teaching. It might be a new audience is what I want to say. Teaching to a larger cross-section of society. So it might mean that you're attracting people from very, very diverse backgrounds that want to hear what you've got to teach, or maybe even teaching more. It's foreign people, foreign places and foreign lands that I'm getting, which is really Sagittarius in its element. I mean, it's where it feels happiest. So there we go. Right. So that is Saggy. Right, where am I up to now? So now moving on to Capricorn. So what's the message for Capricorn? Oh, you're not having all of those. All over the computer. Hopefully it hasn't stopped the video. So this is for Capricorn, please. There we go. So you've got Myo Shan, the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. I mean, we know that you're very strong, Capricorn. I mean, you know, you're very grounded. You don't make dramas out of things. You get on there, and the amount of work that you can, a bit like Virgo, you're like the workhorse of the zodiac, energetically wise. But what I want to say is, it's like the universe wants to give back to you now. So the universe is wanting to, the universe is really, really wanting to give back to you. So yeah, let's just see. It's like they want to say, take a bite from the apple. That's what they want to say. Let's see what your other card, because I think Capricorn is just so used to everybody. With Capricorn, it's very much like you just keep going and keep going and keep going until you stop and you think, right, I'll have a holiday. And it's like, I didn't realise how knackered I was. That's the energy I'm getting. The creative desire. So it's really switching things up for Capricorn here. It's like a red dragon, isn't it? Right, okay. So let's have a look. Number one. The creative desire. Eastern tradition sees desire as the beginning of the universe. This card is an invitation to not complicate life. Accept desire. It is not good to fight against sexuality. Every repression will have you fighting against yourself, and to reach full realization, you need all your strength. This card indicates that you are in tune with the creative power of the universe. Do I even need to add anything to that message? I feel like this is an offer to you, Capricorn, but I want to also say that I want to guide you to rest a little bit. There's a need to rest here to activate this. So like if you felt, and so if this sounds a bit, you know, how do I describe it? With Capricorn here, I just feel like, because sorry if I'm being a bit like cutting off and stopping, but I feel like my energy keeps being cut as I try to tune in. It's like cut. I keep being pulled to this and pulled to that. Things being put on hold. Things not being, like, it's almost like I want to tune in, but I can't because something's pulling me away. And this is what is waiting to be reclaimed. So I don't want to be like crass or anything, but say if like your sex drive has plummeted, it's because you're not getting enough rest. You're either overtaxed and underpaid, somebody was saying to me upstairs, or you're overworked and you're not getting enough time to recharge your batteries, and it's affecting, because remember, sexual energy is creative energy. It's what drives us. It's what and it's about listening to our rhythms, and it's also about acknowledging them and working with them, for sure. So there we go. I hope that makes sense, Capricorn. Take the rest and see what happens without an expectation of an outcome. Can you do that? Right, so now moving on to Aquarius. Woo! Right, okay, I'm not having all of those. Aquarius. Message for Aquarius, please. Fatima, the mother of Imams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. And it's interesting, she's got all these symbols around her head. So Aquarius, do I even want to say to you about world knowledge? World knowledge. So where are we at with this? So I feel like with Aquarius, there's something that you are teaching people which hasn't been done before, or the way you write or the way that you teach is otherworldly. So maybe there's a story that needs to be written, there's a paper that needs to be written, there is something that needs to be shared, Aquarius, that you know, and it might even be with yourself, I don't know. So yeah, there's like, this is for me so apt for Aquarius. It's other worlds, it's other teachings, it's out there, it's things that maybe some cultures would not be exposed to other cultures' way of life. And I feel like Aquarius bridged the gap. So it's a bit like, well, new methods and new techniques that people don't know about. Aquarius is here to teach or to bring through a new perspective. So you've got the card of superficiality, and that is a card number 12. Really get like an Alice in Wonderland energy with this. Let's not delude ourselves. One loves for a variety of reasons and all lead to stagnation. The I Ching advises you to withdraw into yourself, into your secret intimacy, to give depth to love. So I feel like whatever it is that Aquarius is creating, it needs your love and your attention. And it needs your going into your wild and wacky brain, Aquarius, with no judgment and no comparison. Or, well, it's what Spirit is saying is don't look at what it's going to look like outside yet, until you just put that to bed. They just want you to create with your world lineage that you've got in there, that all this information that you've come in, they just want you to go for it. They want you to go into your world of written and spoken word in your brain and to compute it, to collate it in some shape or form. Right, Aquarius, there we go. Right, and last but no means least, we're moving on to Pisces now. So the message for Pisces, lovely Pisces. You also got Parvati. So Parvati's making her third appearance? So so I feel with Pisces there's a commitment coming in as well. And I don't know what that is because obviously it's not a personal reading. So I want to say that with Pisces likes to be free. It likes to swim around. The fish likes to feel like it's free. And it can swim away, but it also wants complete commitment. And so it's a bit like with Pisces, it can be a bit confused with itself. But I want to say that situations and scenarios in your life are coming around to orchestrate towards you, that you can have that. So you can be either in a role, you can create the roles that you feel free, but yeah, it's a safe space for you to go into. So it's a bit like finally being in a relationship with a partner that doesn't want to tie you down, but you've got a commitment. I'm not saying like in an open relationship, but what I mean is a partner that understands your need for space. And I feel like I'm just using that as an example. So apply that to work, apply that to living location. And you actually got the card of totality, which is a 14, which is 5, which is change. So this is times are good. You have a mastery of life that allows you total freedom of action, funnily enough. And the fact that it is not selfishness is demonstrated by you're not doing anything to make this harmony happening. So again, it's about being in tune with your heart. It's about being true to yourself. A bit like there's a big message about this with heart and being true to yourself this month, isn't there? So I feel that with this Sun card here, it's time to shine, Pisces. It's time to align your life with what you know works with your energy system. Okay, so it's not like saying, oh, I need to change, I need to do this recovery book on being more centered and being more grounded. No, just be yourself. You've got a lot to offer, Pisces. Pisces likes fun. It's very playful. When a Pisces energy is sad, there's something really, or it's very quiet, they're needing to go in to contemplate, to recharge. But I want to say with Pisces now, it's stop trying to fit the narrative. See about the narrative fitting you, because you've actually got a lot to teach us by being yourself, being playful, being light, fun, uplifting. It's what we need in the world right now, Pisces, is more people that believe in love. I mean, Pisces can be in love with the thought of love. It's in love with love. But we need that being activated in the earth now more than ever to bring us all together. So that's the message. Right, guys, so I'm going to shoot off because I've got things to do, but I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will try and put the timestamps on. Lots of different energies there, even coming in and out of the energies and finding them different, even from like Capricorn then to Pisces. But they are what they are, and not all of it will resonate with all of you, but just take the bits that pique your interest, that make you think, that's resonating, my energies, things that just almost like your ears prick up. You get those signs. That means there's something there for you. All right, have an amazing month, and I will be back soon. Lots and lots of love.